Let me tell you about the worst decision I've ever made in my life. One that nearly got me killed. My name's Kyle. I'm 27 years old, and I live in a quiet suburb just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I work from home as a freelancer, so yeah, I spend a lot of time online. Too much time, if I'm being honest. It started about 2 months ago when I got really into browsing the dark corners of the internet. You know, creepy forums, abandoned marketplaces, weird subreddits. Just curiosity, I guess. And one night, around 2 a.m., I found a listing on a hidden site that chilled me to my core. It was listed under the oddities section. Handcrafted antique gumball machine, one of one, dispenses unique surprises. Warning, do not use more than once a day. There was only one blurry photo. The glass globe looked yellow with age, and the base was rusted with metal with what looked like old blood splatter. I thought it was a joke, or maybe an edgy art piece. The seller's name was just The Vendor, and the ratings were mostly cryptic 5-star reviews like perfect results and it worked. I don't know what was wrong with me that night, but I bought it. 3 days later, a box showed up at my front door. No return address, no labels, just a plain brown box taped shut like a coffin. I opened it, and there it was, this ancient, grimy gumball machine, way heavier than it should have been. The metal base was dented and ice cold to the touch. There was already one red gumball inside. I turned the crank. Click. The gumball dropped into my hand, and the machine let out a low whine, like metal grinding against itself. I popped it into my mouth. Why? I still don't know. And the taste was awful, like iron and mold. I spat it out and went to bed. But the next morning, things were off. There was a dead squirrel on my porch, perfectly intact, no blood, just dead, like it had dropped from the sky. That same day, I noticed something else. A second red gumball had appeared in the machine. I didn't touch it. Over the next few days, I started hearing noises at night, creaking floorboards, whispers, a soft clicking sound from the living room where the machine sat. And every morning, there'd be another red gumball in the globe, one per day. By day 6, the machine was almost full. I reached out on a deep web forum, asking about the seller. Someone messaged me back anonymously. You shouldn't have turned the crank. Each gumball takes something. It starts small, but it always ends the same. I was done. I went to throw the machine away, but when I touched it, I swear it hummed. The base was hot, and when I looked through the glass, the red gumballs weren't just sitting there. They were moving, twitching ever so slightly, like hearts beating. I called the police. At first, they thought I was nuts, but I insisted they come out to take a look. An officer came the next day, took a look at the machine, and went pale. He called for backup and told me to wait outside. They opened the base of the machine. I didn't see what was inside, but I heard one of the officers throw up. Later on, a detective filled me in. Inside the base, they found human teeth, bits of fingernails, and fragments of what looked like desiccated internal organs, all crammed into a compartment behind the crank. The forensics team linked the biological material to two missing person cases from out of state. Both victims had vanished without a trace after buying items from a now defunct dark web shop, the same one I found. The seller, the vendor, was apparently tied to multiple disappearances across the country. They think the Gumball machine is some kind of occult object, part ritual, part death trap. Every time you turn the crank, you become more connected to it, until eventually it takes you. The police confiscated the machine and turned it over to federal investigators. I had to go through weeks of questioning and psychological evaluation, but in the end, they ruled me as an unwitting participant. They told me I was lucky. Most people who interact with the vendor's artifacts aren't found alive. They tracked the seller's last known IP address to an abandoned warehouse in Idaho. When agents raided the place, it was empty, except for a room full of similar machines, all different shapes and sizes, each one with red gumballs inside. They haven't found the vendor yet, but I don't care. They can hunt him down forever. I just want my life back. I still hear the clicking at night sometimes, even though the machine is gone. And once in a while, I find something on my porch. Not a gumball, but something worse. So if you're ever up late, clicking around where you shouldn't be, and you find an ad for something that seems too weird and too good to be true, don't buy it, don't touch it, and above all, never turn the crank.